How smart is your home, at least when it comes to energy, and how willing are you to make it maybe a little bit smarter? That's what David Steele here is with me to talk about. He's the Senior Director of Smart Energy at J.D. Power & Associates. And David, thanks for being with us here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about smart energy, just in general right now, and consumer attitudes. I mean, what are people thinking right now about smart energy?
Yeah. So it's been all over the board. If you read the popular press, you see the stories, everything from people thinking that smart energy meters are not billing them correctly to people that think this is great, particularly in some of the recent storms we've had, that the utility companies can get data more quickly, more accurately, and restore storms more quickly with smart meters. So we're very pleased to see that occurring.
What are we willing to tolerate right now? Have you seen any kind of attitudinal shift in consumers about what we would accept and what we don't want?
Clearly, one of the things we're going to cover in our session this afternoon is privacy and cybersecurity and those kinds of issues. There's two aspects of that in the energy space. One is the transmission and distribution grid, which is a macro issue of security. The other is more localized. It's home security and the smart meter and the utility company being able to have data on your consumption patterns and usage. That is a mixed issue right now, and the jury's out, and we'll see how customers respond to that as we move along. Most interestingly is we don't think much about when we go on Facebook or tweet, we don't think about privacy, but when it comes to our utility meter, we tend to get a little bit more emotional at times.
And in a way, we're exposing ourselves to the whole world, right? When we do that through social media, and this is a case where it's a very practical application, a very useful application that could also be helping us, right, with our consumption behaviors and our habits, and maybe save a little money.
Save money and to restore service more quickly when there is a problem, move in and move out, to change names on an account when a person may be moving. All those things will become more efficient, reducing costs that get passed on to the customer for those activities. And also things will become more accurate as we move along, because there will be tremendous data points for utilities to use to help you manage your energy consumption.
So where's the tipping point, do you think, that what's it going to take for that consumer attitude shift to go to where it's, green light, we're ready to go on this?
It's a great question, and if you were to ask, I think, most utility senior officers regarding that issue, they would probably say communication is still the area they're working on the most. Educating customers on what a smart meter is, how it can benefit their utilization of energy consumption, and how they can communicate to what its benefits are and upside. And then we move into the home where you have smart appliances and load shifting and time of use rates, all these absolutely fascinating processes that utilities want to get implemented as quickly as they can. It just takes time with so large an infrastructure. You think at every home there's a meter somewhere on the Sands Convention Center, and to get the information out, the first step is to make the changes in the infrastructure and get the physical smart meters in. The next step is educating and helping and communicate with customers on the benefits and how they can take advantage of those tremendous benefits.
Well, like you said, tremendous benefits, a lot of upside, but I know a lot of work to do still. And I want to thank you for joining us today and shedding a little light on the situation.
My pleasure.